Good morning, workforce. Brian here, and today it is patch note day. These are the preliminary, I'm having a hard time saying that word, patch notes this morning. And what you're going to find is on Monday, they'll have the full patch notes. Usually on the full ones, they'll end up seeing that you have like, here's the items and here's like maybe some price adjustments, things like that. So that way they don't end up overall messing with the economy way too much. Now, with this patch notes, this is the full one, so buckle up, get some coffee, get something to drink. Feel free to read along with me. The link is in the description below if you want to read along with these patch notes yourself. I'm going to be giving the full reading as well as my thoughts. So if you're joining me live, thank you very much. If you are watching the archive, thank you very much. We'll be sure to also be releasing a summary of what you need to know, what were the most important or shocking changes or updates that come with 5.1. Chad is here with me live. I'll be using them as well, but not necessarily fully engaging with them until sometime after the full notes reading. So if I miss something, or as a non-Ninja main at the moment, who knows what will happen with Ninja, we'll if anybody is out there is able to provide more context, it's going to be pretty epic to see. So obviously with this patch notes reading, it is long, so I do appreciate everybody who's hanging out here with us. And so let's go ahead and dive in. If you're new to our patch notes and to the patch notes readings, they are broken up by the playable content. This includes quests, fates, granted free companies, the gold saucer, and more, and you can kind of see here. So if you're only interested in a specific section, I will do my best to include timestamps so you can kind of jump to that section and get the information that you're looking for as a part of this. But it does take a little bit for this to render, so ultimately just bear with me in that case. Also, if just for kind of a note, if you're interested, this designates what expansion it is for or requires. So if it has a 5X and none of these other colors, note that it is just for Shadowbringers. But if it still says 2X on it, note that really all you need is ARR for that specific content. So as far also as quests go, they're going to redact a lot of this. So we're going to really kind of pretty much skim over it because A, spoilers, B, the story epic. I don't want to ruin it for you, but you can see kind of pictures and they can say that it looks like the first quest is called Shake and Resolve and the rest have been redacted. But this is going to give you an idea of how many quests that we have when we start with the story itself. So that's pretty, that's actually more quests than I was expecting. Granted that usually we've seen, I think, less in the past, but regardless, the quest, The Word About Korma, can now be found under the Chronicles of the New Era tab in the journal window. And then Chronicles of the New Era quests have been added. This is the near raid, so that's where that's going to start. Yohora, Dark Apocalypse, a scandal in Korma, and then they have the rest of the quests redacted for our pleasure and hopefully for our surprise. So a new side story quest have been added, and it's also redacted. So a lot of this is just going to be that. They've added custom deliveries. Oh, Beehive Yourself. I love the lore team. I love the localization team. Commercially flyable and a ship on his shoulder. And those look like you are required to start a Disciple of Hand or Land at level 70. And you can talk to them in Ulmor, at Karshira, Boszia, and Afgrig. Bear with me, everybody. It's early, and I can't read. Let's just be real. So the Pixie Bee stripes have been added, and we've already seen this pig fly, so it's fantastic. I'm very excited to kind of dive in more with the Pixies. Best part of the expansion from a zone and lore perspective that really kind of connected with me. The questing system, the Pixie Beast Tribe main quest and daily quest will employ the automatic level adjustment system known as Quest Sync, which will match the difficulty of the battles to the player's current job and class levels. Any experience received upon completion of these quests will be adjusted accordingly. Furthermore, certain quests will not allow players to proceed with a class or job that is different than they accepted them. So one of the neat things about the current system is a part of just all the side quests. It's very handy. You can accept them on one job, turn them in on another, but it's going to reward you based off of the job that you're currently on. However, with this is that you have to turn them in on the quest, on the job that you accepted them, because also of their daily limited nature. So there is a little bit difference based off of this versus the side quest piece. But the fact that they scale to the level that you accept them is hugely important. I think it's really good content, especially for helping to boost up your levels on any given job and rank up with it with the tribe. So the Beast Tribe main quest is Manic Pixie Dream Realm, and if you guys haven't seen the video of them showing it off, the Pixie Dream Realm looks really cool. If you've done the maps, you can kind of get a theme, an idea for kind of how it's built. Very playful, very silly in that regards. It really reminds me of kind of a child's playground, so to speak. And then the rest of the quests have been redacted because the story is that important. The Beast Tribe Daily Quest. To unlock the Pixie Daily Quest, players must first complete the Beast Tribe Quest Manic Pixie Dream Realm. And then Beastman Currency. Players can earn Fae Fancies by completing Pixie Daily Quest. The number of Fae Fancies currently held is displayed in the currency window. And then Beast Tribe Vendors. The vendor for Pixies will be unlocked upon completing the quest Manic Pixie Dream Realm. And this is going to kick off here in Meg, or you can kind of see how you get to the Dream Realm via the door right there. So not that far away. So here's where I guess some of the controversy for at least me, well, not controversy, but here's where I'm like, okay, I was very interested in what this could be, but it looks like we'll have to wait and see what people feel about it. I'm very excited. I hope people really love this next system, and that's New Game Plus. So players can now revisit previously completed quests and cutscenes via the New Game Plus system. Guys, just remember, ARR stuff will be coming with 5.3, but you can go back and play through Heaven's Word, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers. So after completing the main scenario quest, Heaven's Word, speak with the wistful Whitebeard in Western Thanalan. So chapters, and they've got it broken up into different chapters. So you can kind of pick which chapter, part 1 through 4, for both Heaven's Word and Stormblood, and right now they've got Shadowbringers part 1 and 2. So accessing the New Game Plus system. From the main menu, select duty in the New Game Plus. A list of replayable chapters will be displayed upon completion of the final quest in a given chapter. You will automatically exit New Game Plus mode. Suspending New Game Plus. Certain game features will become unavailable while playing in New Game Plus mode. To temporarily exit New Game Plus mode, to regain access to these features, open the New Game Plus interface and selecting New Game Plus under the duty in the main menu and select Suspend. The following restrictions will be in effect while playing in New Game Plus mode. You cannot register for new duties you have yet to complete. You may still register for duties that you have yet to complete, provided that they are related to the quest currently in progress for New Game Plus mode. While it is possible to enter New Game Plus mode while registering for a duty, commencement of said duty will automatically suspend New Game Plus mode. Please resume New Game Plus from the suspended data after completing the duty. Okay, that's actually really good to see here, the automatic suspension, because that seemed a little bit annoying if you had to be like, oh, my duty's popped. Oh, wait, I need to suspend New Game Plus. But that's very good. You can still register, like this line's kind of tripping me up a bit. You may still register for duties you have yet to complete, provided they relate to the current progress. I'm just wondering if this relates to like your roulettes. Like, can you still be in a roulette while you're like in the New Game Plus? I would say yes. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to test that out on Monday, Tuesday. You cannot interact with the market board or retainer bells or certain NPCs and objects. That's pretty interesting. You cannot access the unending journey. This makes sense, totally. But then not able to interact with the market boards or retainer bells while in New Game Plus. It's okay. I guess you have the suspend option. Not really all that difficult. I wonder if we'll see them update that like in the future or something like that, where it's like, now you can access the market boards. So the difficulty of certain instance battles in main scenario quest has been reduced, and they've also added that difficulty stuff that we've seen. Players can now choose the difficulty quest for instance battles. I'll let you look at that image while I take some coffee. Oh yeah. The option to choose the difficulty will be displayed upon defeat or when replaying the battle. Okay, that makes sense. The difficulty settings, normal duty difficulty remains unchanged. Easy, gain the power of the echo, increasing your maximum HP, damage dealt, and healing magic potency by 50%. Current duties will also adjust the parameters of ally, NPC, enemies, and enemy battle mechanics. Very easy. Gain the power of the echo, increasing maximum HP, damage dealt, and healing magic potency by 100%. Certain duties will also be adjusted, their parameters of ally, NPCs, and enemies, and battle mechanics. The Yaktsu combo action has added to the actions available when playing as Hien in the instance battle of the main scenario quest Swan Song. Cool. The parameters of enemies that appear in Arcanist and Summoner quests have been adjusted. Yes, that makes sense, especially with the change to pets that they brought in with Shadowbringers. The fact that I can't tank as Titan anymore. I've always wondered that. It's like, how challenging is that now? Because Carbuncle is not going to be your tank. Let's see here. Guild leaves. The number of items required for crafter official leaves has been adjusted. Up or down? What say you, chat? I'm wondering if it's getting easier, which, if it's getting easier, haha, I'm glad I waited. The fates. The maximum store of bicolor gemstones, or bitcoins, as I've been saying, has been increased from 500 to 1,000. I'm very excited about that. I've always felt like I kept pushing that limit, and I'd like to stock up more, and hopefully we see more items added to the stores there. The following adjustments have been made to the gemstone traders. New items are available. Oh my gosh, it's like they read my mind. The shared fate rank required for certain items has been reduced. Okay. Treasure hunt rewards for the dungeon Lithgachim have been adjusted. So that's fine. Let's see here. Granted free companies. New craftable items have been added to the company workshop. The following addition and adjustments have been made to the subaquatic voyages. New areas have been added. New items have been added. Maximum submersible rank has been increased from 60 to 65. Okay, that's, all right. If you've been engaging with that, I'd love to know. We kind of send out the airship every now and then. We kind of send out our submarine every now and then, but it's such passive content because it doesn't link into Diadem. Well, it doesn't really in their mind. I'm wondering if that's going to end up changing as they've updated, or we'll be updating Diadem soon. The number of items required for level 79 to 80 provisioning and supply missions have been increased. The number of items required for certain Fisher provisioning and supply missions have been reduced. And then housing, wards 19 through 21 have been added to all residential districts. So wishing everybody who's out there looking for a house the absolute best of luck to get this. The total of 3 wards have been added to all residential districts, each of which include a subdivision. An apartment building has also been added to each ward, with a second apartment being available in each subdivision. Individuals will be restricted from purchasing plots for personal use in these wards for a limited time. I honestly see this as more that individuals, like if a free company is able to move to a bigger house in one of these wards, that technically opens their old slot in the old ward, so you might be able to get your house just based off of anybody who's making a migration to these new wards. The purchase of private estates have been made available on certain worlds, so Spriggan and Tintana, and wards 1 through 18, and they say private estates cannot be purchased in 19 through 21, so that's, they've basically allowed you to get housing on these 2 servers, which is good. The furnishings from the 14 design contest have been added. Learn more about the furnishing design contest. Good morning. Let's see here. Yeah, 1 second. 1 second, everybody. What's up here? Yeah, substance out. We'll come in. I'm doing the patch note reading.
You're not gonna play too?
Well, that's what we're not playing, but we're just doing the reading. You can hang out with me. Good morning. Do you sleep well? Here, come on. You get us. All right. Cool.
When you're done with this, can we play game
Totally.
on your computer together?
Yes. All right, I can't see the screen though. I need you to lean. There we go. Perfect. All right, Maddie's joining me. Let's see here. So new furnishings have been added. Players can now remain seated while interacting with furnishings. And then the Huron Elzen mannequins are now available. I haven't engaged with the mannequin system, so it's going to be curious to see ultimately. I mean, I need to go check that out, because I know that was pretty exciting for a lot of people.
A happy face up, so if Annie wakes up, she might want to come upstairs.
I'll switch the sign here in a minute, sweetie. The new orchestra and rolls have been added.
Rainbow fish.
You see that rainbow fish? Is that pretty cool?
Yeah.
Here, watch out for my coffee.
And put it somewhere else that way.
Is that better?
Yes.
All right. New paintings have been added. A new seed for flower pots have been added. You can see those plants. Is that pretty?
Beautiful.
They are beautiful.
One red and one yellow.
Yeah, you're right. The campanula seeds. Okay. You can purchase from the following vendors in Mist, the Lavender Beds, the Goblet, Shirogane, the Apartments, and New Britannia. New estate tags have been added. Visitors welcome and a bakery. I like that. If anybody wants to be rocking a bakery. The following estate tags have been adjusted. So garden is now no longer a sprite. It's a tree. The aquarium is no longer a fish. It's an aquarium. And the venue is no longer an exclamation mark, but it's a star with it.
Daddy, I see Pikachu. It looks like the same thing as you gave her mom.
Oh, you think? Yeah. It's called a Moogle. It's not Pikachu. But I can see the similarities. A new gate, the Slices Right, has been added. They avoid Yojimba's attacks to reap rich rewards.
Why are there free baskets on this one?
It's part of the game. Yeah, so they move around. And you have to guess which one's the right one so you don't get knocked off. They showed off a video of this. It's pretty cool.
Can we look?
Yeah. Well, it's just an image. We'll have to play the game. So I'll show you in game when it comes out on Tuesday. Yeah. The following adjustments have been made to gates. The schedule for gates have been adjusted. Every hour on the hour, Cliffhanger, Air Force One, and Leap of Faith. The 20 minutes past the hour is Any Way the Wind Blows, The Slices Right, Leap of Faith. Hourly, the 40 minutes past the hour, they have the Any Way the Wind Blows, The Slices Right, and Air Force One. So they're running Slices Right twice an hour. The gate skill change we can believe in has been removed, from the Gold Saucer. The following additions and adjustments have been made to Dome and mahjong. Players can now switch the high resolution layout, so that will be good for anybody who's got a high resolution computer. Then they say, under certain conditions, the UI size may default to 60% when first enabling this. Yeah.
I was looking for, when I woke up, I was looking for you to see if you woke up yet.
Yeah, and you found me.
So that's why I checked upstairs, just in case, because I think I heard you.
Yeah, you probably heard me talking. In the event that you...
Sit down.
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't went to the potty.
Yeah, go to the potty. That's usually a good first...
Right here.
There is
You
one.
have to fix the sink, because when I turn the sink on to the part where it's supposed to be big, it's big, and then it changed really fast.
Okay, well then go to the one downstairs until I fix the one upstairs.
I can still use it. It still does water.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. In the event you're disconnected in the middle of a game during the turn-in game, we'll resume the turn-in provided time the hand is not expired. An opponent list has been added. The opponent list will be displayed the name of the players of whom you've been matched. Both you and the opponent are playing on PlayStation 4. You can also view their PSN ID. That's neat, I guess, if you really wanted to schedule that. And good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us in the middle of our patch notes. Like I said at the beginning, we'll be doing a summary here shortly after. Let's see here. The following adjustments have been made to Triple Triad. New cards have been added. New NPC opponents for Triple Triad have been added. Miscellaneous. The scenario mode has been added to the trust system. Okay, so this I think is where using the scenario mode you can change new main scenario dungeons with avatar NPCs. It will appear the latest quests of the main scenario. So I think this is where you're kind of switching between leveling and between the running the scenario mode itself as a trust. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the performance actions. The metronome has been added. That's actually pretty cool. A new setting has been added for the performance settings menu. So they say, let's see here, where's the setting? Use current control method. I'm assuming it's the one that's been there. I haven't actually done any of the performance stuff. I have a bard. I don't even know if I've unlocked it. I'll have to go check. The ensemble ready check function is now available when performing in a party. The ready check is shared between all party members in performance mode and will start a metronome counter when everyone is ready. Using the ensemble ready check, after forming a party, open the metronome and select the ensemble ready check. Here you can adjust various settings such as the BPM and beats measure.
The bathroom upstairs has a little bathtub. Cool.
Yeah. It has a shower as well.
I know.
Yeah, is that neat?
So yeah, I know that.
Do you want to hang out more and do the patch notes with me, or are you hungry or thirsty?
Hungry and thirsty.
Why don't you run downstairs? I think Mom's getting up. And can you close the door, please?
Oh, sure.
Thanks.
But you have to open it. You have to put the happy face up.
I'll put the happy face up when I'm done with patch notes.
Okay.
All right. Love you, sweetie. All right. And then initiating the ready check will send a notification to all party members. The ensemble mode has been added. This feature helps ensure all party members will be heard in sync by players in the vicinity. From the ready check menu, please select enter ensemble mode and commence the ready check. Setting playback type to self only will mute the performance of other party members. Setting playback members to all members will play the instrument of all party members with increased delay. Like, are we building Rock Band? Like, at the end of the day, like, are we building Rock Band in Final Fantasy XIV? I think that would ultimately be something that would just, like, it's really cool to have the freedom, but at some point I'm like, is rhythm, a theater rhythm, going to be like, and we've added theater rhythm Final Fantasy XIV edition to this game. Go pick up an instrument and have fun. So then they said, like we talked about, all notes can be displayed even when using the gamepad or controller. Players can now toggle between the keyboard and gamepad button. Excuse me while I take a sip. There we go. All right, my throat was getting real dry. Players can now display gamepad inputs on screen. Players can now practice using the performance assist function. The assisting performance, accessing a performance and assistance. From the performance menu, select performance assistance to display a list of songs you may practice. You can then adjust the music tempo and choose whether or not you wish to use a metronome. And then they've got some icons here for us. The performance assistants, mute other performers. Settings help display gamepad inputs and display the metronome. Sounds for the following instruments are now available: trumpet, trombone, tuba, horn, and saxophone. This is nuts. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the Wanderer's Tales. Prizes available in exchange for the Chloe's Gold Certificate of Compensation, Chloe's Silver Certificate of Compensation, and Chloe's Bronze Certificate of Commendation, has been adjusted. Eden's Gate has been added to the Wanderer's Tales. The Garo collaboration has ended. As such, players will no longer be able to obtain Garo-inspired PvP mounts, titles, and achievements. This includes items available from the Disreputable Priest of Wolf's Den Pier, the Gold Saucer attendant at the Gold Saucer, and rewards associated with the Fatal Feast, Frontline Fury, and Furious Fatalities achievement. Any gear that you have previously earned can still be obtained from the Calamity Scavenger after 5.1. So that's this, guys. This is it. Like, if you haven't done the PvP feast stuff, it's gone. And it doesn't look like I wonder if they'll add it into the Mog Station later. But if they do, like, I'm not going to bet, I'm not going to count on it, but it's still pretty epic how long they gave us to do this event. So battle system, this is kind of the meat and potatoes where a lot of people are excited, and we're going to get some detail about them. And I'm going to take another sip, so let's dive in. So for the Paladin Sentinel, the duration is increased from 10 to 15 seconds. For the Warrior, Vengeance increased from 10 to 15 seconds. Holmgang increased from 6 to 8 seconds. Raw Intuition from 5 to 6 seconds. I think the biggest of these boosts is the 10 to 15, and even the 6 to 8, getting 2 more seconds with Holmgang, that's that invuln for the Warrior. I think that's really, really, like, that's a powerful amount of cooldown. Dark Knight, obviously that means you can't move for another 2 seconds, but, you know, it is what it is. Dark Knight, Shadow Wall, 10 to 15 seconds. All these tanks. Nebula, 10 to 15 seconds. The Monk, Rockbreaker, the area effect has changed from a cone to all nearby enemies. That's awesome. Mantra, we all knew that this was getting reduced. Effect potency has been reduced from 20% to 10%. So that's, you know, like, I'm not too worried about that. Ottoman now triggers the cooldown of weapon skills upon execution and can be executed while execute during weapon skill cooldown. Okay. Dragoon. Now people say, he said like here, like they weren't going to share it, so here we go. Blood of the Dragon. Recast time has been reduced from 30 to 25 seconds. The Garaskogel. Potency has been increased from 270 to 300. Heck yes. Mirage Dive. Potency increased from 250 to 300. Holy crap. That's epic. Stardiver. Potency has been increased from 550 to 600. Those are some buffs, guys. Now, we're in context, we're ultimately going to have to see. who what they've got rocking and rolling in this regards. Meaning, like, are these the biggest buffs that we're seeing overall? But I think those are pretty huge. So Mug, the recast time is increased from 110 to 120 seconds. Trick attack a little bit. Like, I want to know what you guys think. Potency has been increased from 340 to 350. The vulnerability effect no longer requires. Excuse me, everybody. No longer requires execution from the enemy's rear, meaning you can do this from any direction. Effect potency has been reduced from 10 to 5%, and the effect duration has been increased from 10 to 15 seconds. So it's got a potency loss regarding the vulnerability, but it is going to increase in time, thus giving people longer time to damage on that perspective. But let's just be clear. The question that I think a lot of people, and myself, wonder, it's like, if at some point, if we have no directional combos, etc., like, okay, how does that make you feel? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the live chat. I'd love to read your thoughts. Alligan Edge combo potency is increased from 400 to 420. The rear combo potency has been increased from 460 to 480. The Shadow Fang potency has been increased from 100 to 200. No longer a combo action with Spinning Edge. The combo bonus damage over time has been changed to an additional effect. The damage over time potency has been increased from 70 to 90. The effect duration has increased from 24 to 30. No longer shares a recast time with other actions. Recast time has been increased from 2.5 to 70 seconds. Yeah, and the execution of Shadow Fang will no longer interrupt combos. So that's really interesting to see, kind of, like the fact that that's a good potency boost. The damage over time potency has been increased, but the combo bonus damage over time has been changed to additional effects. So we're going to have to play around with that and see how that plays out. Then you have Tenchi Jin. Duration has increased from 5 to 6 seconds. Now a maximum of 2 charges. Now triggers the cooldown of weapon skills, murder, and ninjutsu upon execution. I'll be right there, sweetie. The execution of weapon skills now trigger the cooldown of this action, and the recast time has been increased from 0.5 to 20 seconds. The murder status effect will no longer be renewed by consecutive inputs and murder action. I'll be right back. What's up? You coming back to join me? Mm-hmm. Okay. Did Mom help you out?
No, I just got myself some water to drink.
Well, that's good. That's a good choice.
Annie, I woke her up and telling her you're upstairs.
Okay.
She's just still waking up. So is me.
Okay. Big stretch. All right, I still got patch notes to read.
Can I come with you?
Yeah, of course.
When are we gonna do the unicorns?
What are you talking about?
The unicorn thingy, right? That Melanie gave me.
Okay, we can do that this weekend.
Today?
Well, today's not the weekend.
Why?
Why is today? Because it's a work day.
I want to do it with Melanie.
Well, let's get with her this weekend. All right.
Today.
I got patch notes to read, kiddo.
I don't want you to help.
Oh, okay.
I can help. Mommy can help me when she was all the way up.
All right. So, back to the patch notes. We talked about Tenchi Jin. Ninjutsu, the recast timer no longer triggered when ninjutsu is executed or when a murder timer runs out. Now triggers the cooldown of weapon skills, murder, and ninjutsu upon execution. The recast time has been reduced from 20 seconds to 1.5 seconds. The Firma Shuriken potency has been increased from 280 to 500.
Daddy?
Now triggers the cooldown of weapon skills and murder.
Yeah.
Yes, sweetie.
That is a dragon. Look, what does this say?
It says Red Dragon.
Red dragon? But
Yeah.
it's not all red.
And not all of it's red and black. So we talked about ninjutsu, Firma Shuriken potency. Yeah, that's a huge.
What?
Maddie, I gotta read these notes, kiddo.
Look, there's white on this, too.
So the potency has been increased from the 280 to 500. Now triggers the cooldown of weapon skills, ninjutsu upon execution, and the recast timer from 20 to 1.5. How far am I into the notes? I'm nowhere close to being done, kiddo. This is an epic video.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Why don't you go play?
I want to play.
Well, I need to read these notes, so I need you to read along with me. We can practice your sight words if you see any of them. see Katon. Again, like I think I'm just gonna talk about the potencies because it's this middle line's the same. 250 to 500 potency, and then it's got the 1.5 seconds. So Raton 400 to 800 potency, Hyton 140 to 400. No. Do you know how to read those words? We're getting good. You're probably better than your old man. Hyton 140 to 400. Hoton from see now triggers the cooldown weapon skills. It doesn't say the potency. I guess that's not changing. Doton 45 to 100. Suton potency increased from 130 to 600. Totu no longer does the recast timer.
We have a new sight word. See.
Yeah, it is a new sight word. The charges have been removed. The effect allows the execution of a single ninjutsu without consumption of murder. Changes have been added. Recast timer is now set at 15 seconds. Armor Crush, the combo potency is increased from 380 to 400. The Flank combo potency is increased from 440 to 460. Good lord, this is a lot of ninja changes, y'all. Dream Within a Dream, the duration increased from 10 to 15 seconds. Hellfrog Medium, actually potency reduced 400 to 200. Potency no longer reduced after the first enemy. The Ninki gauge cost has been reduced from 80 to 50. And potency has been reduced from 500 to 300. And the Ninki gauge cost has been reduced from 80 to 50. Tenchi Jin. The effect of this action has been revamped. Tenchi Jin now functions as follows. Temporarily converts each of the 3 murder to the ninjutsu actions. Maddie, you're shaking the desk, sweetie. Follows temporarily converts the following of the 3 murder to ninjutsu actions. Executing one of these actions will convert the remaining murder to different ninjutsu actions until the 3 have been executed for the Tenchi Jin. Until the effect expires, the duration is 6 seconds. Only ninjutsu available while active. The same ninjutsu cannot be executed twice. Cannot be executed under the effect of Katsanu. Effect ends upon moving. The Mensuni increased the Nikki gauge and that has been changed from 40 to 50 seconds. The recast time has been increased from 60 to 120 seconds. Goka Mamulula potency has been increased from 400 to 750. Jeez Louise, like these potency boosts are insane. The now triggers the cooldown of weapon skills. The murder, we knew that. And then the reduction in time. Hasanu Ranku potency is increased from 600 to 120. 1.2k. Maddie, you're slipping down my lap, sweetheart. And then we have the reduction in time. Bushin, I can't see the screen, but I can lift you up right over here. There we go. I can't put you there because I can't see you if you're there. You okay? Oh. You hit your knee? Okay. Shurikuo. Increased Nikki gauge has been reduced from 6 to 5, and then Shurikuo. Sorry, I'm butchering. Ninja Samurai, guys. Like, this is like my torture. The Nikki gauge has changed from 8 to 10. What's that? You want my headphones? I have other set of headphones around here somewhere. Maybe we can find those. Let's see here. The Nikki gauge has been changed from 8 to 10. Requirements have been changed from landing a weapon skill to successfully completing any combo to landing Shadow Fang or successfully completing combo Outgoing Edge and Armor Crush. The Samurai. That's my name, my badge for one of the clients that I work for.
So you can go there?
Yeah, so I can go there because it's a secured facility.
Is your name tag?
Yeah.
Because, but it is confusing.
Sweetie, I'll play with you in a minute, okay, kiddo? Well, in a lot of minutes, because we're still working on it. It's still 5 in the morning, kiddo. Like, why are you up so early? You just want to see me?
No, I want to play with you.
Cool. Let's play here in a minute, okay? Let me finish my notes. Samurai, meditate. The maximum number of stacks granted has been reduced from 5 to 3. Meditation status effect no longer has a duration. Now triggers the cooldown of weapon skills upon execution and cannot be executed during weapon skill cooldown. Hagakuri The Kenki gauge has been changed from 5 to 10. The Tatsumi Ganshi, global cooldown when executing the action is now affected by the skill speed. The Shawa potency has now been fixed to 400. The requirements for execution has now been fixed at 3 stacks of meditation. The recast time has been increased from 1 to 15 seconds. Higabana. They said from the overall damage for samurai is going to be up, everybody, but just note that the combos are going to change, and that's what they're saying. Like, it's like if you're just looking at the raw numbers here, you might feel like they're getting a nerf, but they say that overall the damage is going to be up, and so just FYI. So we talked about, so they say Shinoa potency is now fixed to 400. The requirements for execution is now fixed at 3 stacks of meditation. Recast time has been increased from 1 to 15 seconds. I just said that. The Higabana, the additional effect grants stack of meditation up to a maximum of 3 has been added. And this is the same thing for Tenken Goken, Midair Setsugeka, Kenshi Hebanasha, Kenshi Goken, and Kenshi Setsugeka. Oh, God. So when you're doing those things, you're adding stacks of meditation, so you don't have meditation on its own to worry about. Jinpu combo potency has been reduced from 340 to 320. Shifu combo potency has been reduced from 340 to 320. Fuga, the range and the radius have been increased from 6 to 8. The cone size has been increased. That's good. Yukazi, the combo potency has been reduced from 400 to 360. I know, this is a big video. Meko Saushi. The status icon when I was playing the number of weapon skills that can be executed without combo requirements. So Archer and Bard. So we had Benny from Comic Storian, Eligible Monster on the podcast. He's a Bard main, so he's really excited just based off of the fact that your songs buff party members. And so we see Mage's Ballad, Army's Peon, the Wondrous Minuet. The additional effect grants Mage's Ballad to all party members within 30 ohms. Increasing damage dealt by 1% has been added. So it's no longer like the crit, it's actual overall damage dealt.
When are you going to get some headphones for me?
Let's see here. Where are my additional headphones? I have them, sweetie. I just don't know where they're at. I'll have to find it. Why don't you go downstairs, and Mom can help you, and then I'll be down and I'll help you with headphones. Army's Peon. The additional effect grants Army's Peon to all party members within 30 ohms. Increasing the direct hit rate by 3% has been added. And the Wanderer's Minuet, increasing the critical hit rate by 2% has been added. This is interesting. This is interesting because each of the songs granting a different thing. Basically, Mage's Ballad is like your determination buff. Army Peon is your, what's direct hit stat? Like, what's that? Accuracy. So it's like your direct hit. And then Wanderer's Minuet is your crit. So it's like all 3 of the materia and going from there. So let's see here. Someone's saying rip Apex Arrow. I haven't read that far. Sidewinder potency for 1 effect has increased from 175 to 200. Potency for 2 effects has been increased for 260 to 300. Troubadour recast time has been reduced 180 to 220. Apex Arrow range has increased from 15 to 25 ohms. That's awesome. Potency has been reduced. Holy smokes. 500 to 120. Ugh. Potency increase up to 600 as soul voice gauge exceeds the minimum cost, consumes the soul voice gauge upon execution. So to get the Apex Arrow, you want to use that soul voice gauge. Otherwise, that is a nerf. Oh my gosh. Venomous Bite, damage over time potency has been reduced from 40 to 30. Wind Bite, potency reduced from 50 to 40. Cautious Bite, 50 to 40. Storm Bite, 60 to 50. And Refulgent Arrow, potency has been reduced from 340 to 330. Here. Good night. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Machinist. Tactician recast time has been reduced from 180 to 120. I like that change. I felt 180 was kind of long. Split shot potency increased from 160 to 180. Thank you. Slug shot potency has been increased 240 to 260. Thanks again. Clean shot combo potency has been increased from 320 to 340. Heat blast potency has increased from 200 to 220. Heat split heat shot 200 to 220. Heated slug shot 300 to 340. Like, man, I love machinists. Heated clean shot potency has been increased from 400 to 440, and flamethrower global cooldown when executing this action is now affected by skill speed. So Dancer, the cascade potency is increased from 200 to 250. Fountain, the combo potency is increased from 250 to 300. Rising Windmill potency is increased from 350 to 300. Blood Shower potency has been increased from 300 to 350. Curing Waltz, cure potency has been increased from 200 to 300. Shield Samba recast time reduced from 180 to 120. So that's in line with the Machinist. So Machinist and Dancer, like those are some nice buffs. Black Mage triple cast. The status icon will now be displayed the number of spells that can be cast with no cast time. So that's exciting to see that with the status icon. Like, yeah, Black Mage, we got it. We're good. You know, rock and roll. The Arcanist Summoner. Eggy Assault. Action category has been changed from an ability to a spell. Bane no longer spreads Ruination status effect to nearby targets. Eggy Assault 2 is now a spell. Pain Flare. Potency has been reduced. 150 to 130. Tri Disaster now deals unaspected damage with a potency of 300. Additional effect of Ruination has been removed. Dreadworm Trance. Recast time has been reduced from 60 to 55 seconds. Thank you. Ruin 4. Potency has increased from 260 to 300. Okay, I'm liking that. Bio 3. Damage over time potency increased from 40 to 50. Miasma 3. Potency has increased from 40 to 50. Damage over time potency has increased from 40 to 50. Summon Bahamut. Worm Wave can now be executed immediately after summoning. Yay! Firebird Trance. Recast time has been reduced from 60 to 55 seconds. Everlasting Flight. Duration has increased from 20 to 21 seconds. Gust. The Emerald Carbuncle. Potency has been reduced from 30 to 20. Downburst. This is Emerald Carbuncle. Potency has been increased from 40 to 100. Glittering Emerald Carbuncle. The potency has been increased from 10 to 30. Damage over time potency has been increased from 10 to 30. Duration has been reduced from 15 to 9 seconds. The Glittering Topaz. Topaz Carbuncle. Barrier Strength has been increased from 20 to 30% of maximum HP. Shining Topaz. The potency has been increased from 60 to 200. Windblade. Eggy Garuda. Potency has been reduced from 40 to 30. Aerial Slash. Potency has been increased from 60 to 150. Slipstream. Potency has been increased from 20 to 50. Damage over time potency has been increased from 20 to 50. And duration has been reduced 15 to 9 seconds. Earthen Armor. Barrier Strength has been increased from 20 to 30% of maximum HP. Mountain Buster. Potency has been increased from 70 to 250. Thank you. Earthen Fury. Potency has been increased from 200 to 300. Crimson Cyclone. Potency has been increased from 100 to 250. Flaming Crush. Potency has been increased from 100 to 250. Potency is now reduced by 50% of all remaining enemies. Hey, kiddo, why don't you go blow your nose, kiddo? What's up? Here, let me look great. Well, I'll be right back. Sorry, everybody. Found him. You gotta take very special care of these headphones, okay?
What did I do?
They turn on, but you can put them on your ears if you like, so that way you can.
Yeah.
I don't have any music for them right now, but at least I found the headphones. Look stylish.
I want to hear.
Well, maybe Mom can help you, because I know she could hook it up to her phone, because they're wireless.
Okay.
So yeah, see if Mom can hook them up to a phone so you can listen to some music. All right. So honestly, guys, So how do I feel about summoner changes? It's curious. I cannot wait to go hands-on with it. The ability to summon, like, where is it? It's basically no more delay in Wormwave when summoning Bahamut. Like, that in and of itself is a huge issue. Larry Czar and I talked about this yesterday, kind of in a discussion video. So ultimately, like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go hands-on. Like, that's the hands down of it. Let's see here. Let's go into Red Mage. Just finished off leveling Red Mage. Held off on putting out the guide on it because I was like, well, here we go. Acceleration now applies to the next 3 Ver Thunder, Ver Flare, or Ver Arrow, Ver Holy spells cast. Duration has increased from 10 to 20 seconds. Recast time has been increased from 35 to 55 seconds. That honestly makes that way more important. I always kind of felt acceleration was always there for you, but being able to say that it applies to your rotation is just going to ensure that it's going to ensure its importance far greater than ever before. Molinet range and radius has been increased from 6 to 8 yalms. Extended Molinet range and radius has increased from 6 to 8. The Contra 6 potency has increased from 350 to 380. Jolt 2 potency is increased from 250 to 280. The Reprise, the Enhanced Reprise, potency increased from 250 to 300. Enhanced Jolt now also increases the potency of Ver Thunder and Ver Arrow to 350 and potency of Ver Fire and Ver Stone to 300. Honestly, all really good things here for Red Mage. Red Mage is, we'll put out a video on it. I enjoyed leveling it. I've enjoyed having it at 80. And got some more. The acceleration, I think, is the biggest change out of all of this. Like, the buffs are nice, but the acceleration change, it helps to ensure a little less random in your rotation. White Mage, Elysium status and range and status increased from 6 to 8. That's great. I like that. I always kind of wonder, okay. And Temperance effect is now applied immediately after execution. That'd be great if it was for Benediction too. Scholar. Summon Seraph. The duration has been increased from 20 to 22 seconds. Seraph must now wait 2 seconds after being summoned to begin executing actions. Lame. Embrace Eos and Selene. Seraph Veil. These actions will no longer be executed when the pet is set to steady. And Consolidation. Recast time is increased from 20 to 30 seconds. Can't tell if the Summon Seraph is a nerf. So, either way, we'll have to go hands-on with it. Astrologian Combust. Damage over time potency is increased from 30 to 40 seconds. Essential Dignity. Maximum cure potency when target's HP is low has been increased by 100. Aspect of Benefit. MP cost under the effect of Nocturnal Sect has been reduced from 1,000 to 900. And let's see here. The Aspect of Helios. The MP cost has been reduced from 1,100 to 1,000. Combust 2 damage over time potency has increased from 35 to 50. Minor Arcania.
Daddy,
what's up?
There's a picture on here.
There is.
What is it?
It's the Bluetooth symbol.
What's a Bluetooth?
Bluetooth is a wireless form of protocol in which that we can communicate with other electronic devices wirelessly.
Why? What are these buttons for?
They increase and decrease the volume. That's where you can mute.
How do you turn this thing on?
You gotta go ask Mama.
I don't know. She doesn't know.
She.
What's this little hole for?
That's where you can plug in a direct cord.
But what's that?
Sweetie, I gotta do these notes.
What's that?
I don't know. What is it?
I don't know.
Well, go ask Mom.
She said I can't use her phone.
Okay.
Can I use your phone?
Sure. Why don't you go take my phone and have Mom hook it up to the headphones?
I don't know if she does it. No.
She knows how to do it. She's done it before.
Can you do that?
No, I'm doing the video.
Can you do it right for this? Before you can put it on my notes?
Let's see here. All right. And let's go Bluetooth.
I want to connect people. I don't want to connect. Can I watch a show with it?
You're going to have to ask your mom. I'm not going to put a show on for you at 5 in the morning.
But she's still sleeping. She won't let me watch a show.
Why is it not showing up?
Watch
And so, all right, I need you to go downstairs, kiddo. That or you can sit here and play with my phone quietly. All right, let's see here. Damage over time for Combust 2, 35 to 50. Minor Arcana action now automatically charges the Lord of Crowns and Lady of Crowns upon drawing a card prior to being executed. Collective Unconsciousness. The effect of this action has been revamped. Collective Unconsciousness now functions as follows. It creates a celestial ring around the caster. Diurnal, sect effects. Reduced damage taken by 10% applies. The Wheel of Fortune to self and any party members who enter. Duration is 18 seconds. Oh, man, there's a lot here. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune effect, Diurnal Regen, Cure Potency 100, duration 15 seconds. Nocturnal Sect effects, grants healing over time when applied Wheel of Fortune to self and party members who enter. Cure Potency 100, duration 18 seconds. Wheel of Fortune effect, Nocturnal, reduces damage taken by 10%, duration 20 seconds. Effect ends upon using another action or moving, including facing a different direction. Cancels auto attack upon execution. Can only be executed while under the effect of Diurnal Sect or Nocturnal Sect. Radius has been increased from 6 to 8 yalms. Recast time has been reduced from 90 to 60 seconds. All right. So, oh my gosh. You either have a regen field or you have a shielding field. And the regen field is going to last 15 seconds. The shielding field is going to last 18 seconds. Obviously, if you move, it's canceled. And the size of it has increased. I'm guessing on the shield to being 8 yalms, which I'm wondering if it's putting it in line with Scholar. Can we get patch notes for the headphones? Sure. Patch notes on headphones. Combust 3. Damage over time potency has been increased from 45 to 60. Malefic 4. Potency is increased from 420 to 450. Not a huge boost there, but some nice dot boosts overall. That's going to help overall. Tank Roll Reprisal. I love this. The effect now applies to nearby enemies, and then the duration is increased from 6 to 10 seconds. That is massive. That is massive in boosting. The Healer Roll or Rescue recast time has been reduced from 150 to 120, so you can save more friends more often. The following trait has been added. Summoner level 76, Enhanced Outburst. Increase the potency of Outburst to flat 90. That's great because that takes it out from that Ruin, because it was boosted to 90 with Ruination. Ruination is no longer a thing, so it's now just going to be a stronger spell altogether. The following trait has been removed. Enhanced Tri-Disaster. The help text for certain actions, traits, and status effects have been adjusted. Their effects have not been changed. The display of resource costs and actions icons have been adjusted as follows. The Y Mage, Lily and Blood Lily no longer display on action icons. Okay. Machinist, minimum battery gauge cost will now be displayed on action icons. Red Mage, black and white mana cost will now be displayed on action icons. Okay. The Gunbreaker, cartridge cost will now be displayed on action icons. And Dancer, fourfold feather cost will no longer be displayed on action icons. So it's interesting to see how that, some are going away and some are being added. We're going to have to play around with that. The job gauges have been adjusted as follows. A sound will now play when Gunbreaker's power gauge is full. The change in display of the Nikki gauge and sound effect playing when reaching 80 Nikki has been changed to trigger when reaching 50 Nikki. A sound will now play when Bard's soul voice gauge reaches 100. A sound will now play when the Machinist's battery gauge reaches 100. A sound will now play when the Dancer gains their fourfold feather. The change in display of the balance gauge and sound effect played when reaching 30 mana and white mana and black mana has changed to trigger when reaching 80 white mana and 80 black mana. Great. A sound will now play when a white mage blood lily blooms. See, I like that little those subtle cues of sound are gonna, I think, help, because that way you don't have to sit here and be worried about the UI. You can literally kind of just cue into the audio cue if you've got obviously sound effects turned on. Pets will now be displayed in the party list. Okay, you can't target them, but hello, welcome back to the party list, guys. Summoner Demi Phoenix can no longer be targeted. All attacks from Arcanist and Summoner pets are now categorized as magic attacks. Blue Mage has been adjusted as followed. Water Cannon potency, this is a big one, 120 to 200. Flamethrower potency has been 130 to 220. Potency will be reduced by 50% after the first enemy. Aqua Breath, potency is increased from 90 to 140. Man, they're buffing Blue Mage. Flying Frenzy, potency is increased from 80 to 150. Drill Cannons, potency is increased from 120 to 200. Potency when target is inflicted with petrification has been increased from 420 to 600. I can never get petrification to stick on the target to use this. Yes, sweetie?
Mommy can get it too good on.
Let's see here.
Can you put a show on it?
No, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Go get ready for school and we can do a show.
But I don't go to school.
Oh, you're right. You're off school today.
Now I have 2 days to stay at home.
Well, not just 2, because you won't go to school on Sunday either.
Why am my hands so messy?
All right, go see Mom. Mom's gonna put you on a show downstairs because I forgot you don't have school today.
But she's still sleeping.
It's 6 o'clock. We get up. Mom and I get up at 5. It's like I don't know why she's sleeping. Let's see. High voltage potency has been increased from 90 to 180. The potency target afflicted dopesy has been increased from 130 to 220. Final sting potency is increased from 1500 to 2000. Oh my gosh, this is nuts. Let's see here. Then we've got the Song of Torment damage over time potency has been increased from 25 to 50. Glower potency is increased from 130 to 220. And then it's a reduction in damage after that. The Paincracker potency has been increased from 130 to 220. And it has a damage fall off. Sharpened Knife potency is increased from 120 to 220. Oh my gosh. Ice Spikes potency is increased from 25 to 40. Blood Drain potency increased from 20 to 50. Bomb Toss potency has been increased from 110 to 200 with a damage fall off. Off Guard. The effect of this action has been revamped. Off Guard now functions as follows. Increases target's damage taken by 5%. Recast time is increased from 25 to 60 seconds. Now shares a recast timer with particular light. Duration has been reduced from 30 to 15 seconds. So that's, I guess that's in line with the change of obviously all the buffs, basically making off guard less important while making just the natural skills hit harder. So that way you don't have to off guard all the time, because that was definitely a little bit annoying. Self-destruct potency is increased from 900 to 1500 potency. Potency when you are under the effect of toad oil has been increased from 1200 to 1800. Player will now be inflicted with the Brush of Death status after use. Excuse me. This action cannot be executed under the effect of Brush of Death. So does it kill you? Okay. Transfusion. A player will now be inflicted with the Brush of Death status after use. This action cannot be executed under the effect of Brush of Death. The 4 tons weight. The potency is increased from 110 to 200 with a fall off. The Look potency has been increased from 110 to 220. The Bad Breath damage over time potency is increased from 10 to 20. The Ram's Voice potency is increased from 130 to 220. The Dragon's Voice potency is increased from 110 to 200. Potency within a target is afflicted with Deep Freeze has been increased from 310 to 400. Inkjet potency has been increased from 120 to 200 with a damage fall off. Fire Agnon potency has been increased from 120 to 200. Mind Blast, the potency has been increased from 100 to 200. The Particular Light, the effect potency has been reduced from 30 to 5. The Feather Rain potency has been increased from 180 to 220. Eruption, the potency has increased from 220 to 300. Mound Buster, potency is increased from 310 to 400 with a damage fall off. Shock Strike, potency has been increased from 310 to 400 with a damage fall off. Glass Dance potency is increased from 290 to 350 with a damage fall off. The success rate of learning actions and enemies has been increased. Makes sense as we're about to go to 60. The success rate of learning actions from enemies will increase further upon entering duties with undersized party setting disabled. Oh, that's fascinating. Using the Blue Mage spells that incapacitate self will now apply Brush of Death with the status. While under this effect, Blue Mage spells that incapacitate self cannot be used. Okay. New score bonuses have been added to the Mass Carnival. Listing of enemy resistances in the Mass Carnival stage information window has changed to show enemy vulnerabilities. A filter has been added to the Blue Magic Spellbook. Okay, cool. And then you can kind of... Oh, I guess if you're looking for certain things. Neat. New dungeon and the Grand Cosmos has been added. So this is for item level requirement 430 or above. So make sure that you've gotten all your gear. So you're at least 430 so you can do the new dungeon. That's going to be a requirement for completing the story. So don't find yourself locked out of the content. And as far as the requirements, it's a part of doing the story. So it's going to be an MSQ dungeon. The minimum item level requirement has been added to the following dungeons: Dust Vigil, Psalm Owl, the Airy, the Vault, the Grand Google Library. I'm guessing that we're running into problems with players because Mountain Glug, you need 390. It's not just a level thing. It's like, yeah, have the gear because you might be hurting your team. A new trial of the Minstrel's Ballad, Hades Elegy has been added. The Minstrel's Ballad, Hades Elegy will be accessed via the Raid Finder, and you need average item level 450 or above. With a level of 80 Disciple of War Magic who has completed the main scenario quest, Shadowbringers speak to the Minstreling Wanderer in the Crystarium to unlock this duty. The following adjustments have been made to the trial. Thorn March, hard. When the Moogle-scarred Moogles are present on the field, damage dealt to the Good King Moogle Mog, the 12th cannot exceed a certain threshold. Maximum damage dealt by Memento Moogle has been reduced. The weekly restriction on rewards in Eden's Gate has been removed. Alright. Wow, that's impressive.
Daddy.
What?
Mommy said I can't get in here.
Give me a hug. I love you. I'm making a video, kiddo. I gotta mute for a second. All right. Boo-boos have been taken care of. Let's see here. Weekly restriction on rewards Eden's Gate has been removed. That's impressive. Like, all right, farm up Eden's Gate. I was thinking that would be at least another one. The number of Blade of Earthly Antiquity required for exchange for a lightweight tombstone has been reduced from 7 to 4. We have resolved an issue in high-end duties where the timing of hard and rage mechanics created discrepancies in the total length of the encounter for any given attempt. As a result, the timing mechanics... I lost my space because you're putting your hand in my face. The timing mechanics of all Eden's Gate Savage encounters has been adjusted. We apologize for this inconvenience and will do our most to ensure such issues do not occur again. Let's see, where in timing, hard and range mechanics created discrepancies in the total length of the encounter. Okay, that's interesting. The Alliance Raid Dungeon, the Copy Factory, has been added. I'm really excited about this. The exciting new raid is developed by director-producer near Automata Yokotoro and Yoxi Satel. Yes, sweetie?
Little something. Where's that?
Those are some of the enemies, and they're tossing out the little balls of light that are attacks.
Ooh, they're monsters?
Exactly. So they say the item level requirement is going to be 435. So if you want to be able to do this right away, be sure to hit item 435 to be able to participate. The requirements are a part of the Saga era, which are redacted. So again, we'll get the quest going and it'll be fun. Parties match automatically via the duty finder will comprise of 1 tank, 2 healers, and 5 DPS.
Daddy,
Yes, sweetheart.
they were right there, eh?
Yeah, and
Yay, I love that. Like I don't need the sound now for real.
Mm-hmm.
I love that pizza. That itty-bitty pizza.
You made a deal that you said you could sit here quietly while I finish the notes.
Yeah,
and now
like
you're
that.
talking.
Monster pizza.
A monster pizza? Okay. Completion reward. Upon completion of the Copy Factory, you may also earn a separate reward once per week. 2 cracked Stella clusters and 1 manufactured coin. The manufactured coin can be exchanged with Farthard and Ilmore. The items can enhance equipment purchased with Algian tombstones of Phantasmagoria. The items required to exchange equipment purchased with Algian tombstones of Phantasmagoria, Deep Shadow Coating, and Deep Shadow Twine can be purchased from Izel in the Crystarium with Saxonuts and Farthard in Ulmore with manufactured coins. After acquiring the items to exchange equipment from either Excel or Farthard, speak with She Toch in Ulmore to exchange items augmented gear of your choice. Players will now receive the power of the Echo in the event all party members are incapacitated during the following trials: the Dancing Plane, Crown of the Immaculate, and the Dying Gasp. The Dancing Plane Extreme and the Crown of the Immaculate Extreme. Each time a player restarts the aforementioned trials, the maximum HP and damage dealt and healing potency will be increased by 5%. Increased to each restart up to a maximum of 25%. If a player restarts after battling for less than 3 minutes, they will not be granted this effect. The Orbon Monastery. The Echo will take effect upon entering the Orbon Monastery, increasing players' maximum HP, damage dealt, and healing potency by 10%. Unlike other instances, the strength of the Echo will not increase in the event all party members are incapacitated. Players can now use the undersized party option to participate in the Great Hunt and the Great Hunt Extreme. Fascinating. I thought they said they weren't going to do that. Maybe I misread that or misunderstood that. I know they're not going to do that for Ultimate, but oh my gosh, like if you want to go hunt and farm the Great Hunt, like that's awesome. I'm going to have to go do that and finally get that mount. Yes, sweetheart.
I found a lot of those.
Good job. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the Forbidden Land Eureka. The Echo will take effect upon entering the Forbidden Land of Eureka, increasing players' maximum HP, damage dealt, and healing potency. And then it will not apply to Baldistan Arsenal. It is now easier to spawn notorious monsters. Story quest completion is no longer required to ride mounts. The requirements for spawning certain elite marks have been adjusted. The resistances of certain monsters have been adjusted. Exploratory missions have been removed. The following adjustments have been made according to the above. The exploratory missions no longer appear in the timers window. Exploratory missions will no longer appear in the duty and party finder menu. Achievements related to the exploratory missions are no longer attainable. Yes, sweetheart?
I can read that.
Good job.
Even if it's not a sight word.
As I think it is a sight word, but good job. We're so proud of your progress learning how to read. Maybe one day you'll be able to read and do the patch notes for the workforce.
Yay!
And I can sleep.
Good.
Yeah.
I really want to read all of this, but first I want to make sure you sleep. But you have to teach me how to read so I can read all this.
Yeah, we've been learning how to read. She's getting good, y'all. She's getting real good. Yeah, dude, let's go from farm that mount, man. You and me, man. Maddie, I can't see the screen when you do that. It's like, and Maddie's hair has been patched into the game, y'all. The following additions adjustments have been made to the raid finder. Minstrel's Ballad, Hades Elegy has been added. Dancing Plague Extreme and Crown Immaculate Extreme have been moved to the duty finder. Unending Coil, Bahamut Ultimate, and the Weapons Refrain Ultimate have been added to the new Ultimate Raids category. Cool. The duty listed within the Duty Roulette Expert has changed as follows. Thank goodness they're not taking anything out. At least they're going to have 4 to kind of rotate between.
I'm wrapping your hand.
Thank you. The required average item level to register for Duty Roulette Expert has been increased from 410 to 430. The following duties have been added to the Duty Roulette Mentor, the Grand Cosmos, and the Copied Factory. The required average item level to register the Duty Roulette Mentor has increased from 425 to 435. Well, because I don't know, it just feels good. The Minstrel's Ballad Hades Elegy has been added to the list of changes in Stone, Sky, and Sea. Amity generated the actions Chocobo Drop and Chocobo Strike has been increased. So let's talk about some PvP. Gosh, that was epic changes. Significant adjustments have been made to the PvP actions. Details on changes to actions and traits will be added to the Final Fantasy XIV job guide on Tuesday, October 29th. The ranking of each grain company will now be displayed on the results screen.
Dad, there's hair on there.
Yeah, I have hair on my arms.
The hair on your skin.
Yeah, that's how my skin looks.
I can see it.
Yeah, me too.
It has to be little.
So yeah, there's little hairs. The ranking of each grain company. Like, I'm just so curious about what this means. The ranking of each grain company will now be displayed on the results screen. Frontline players can now queue for Daily Challenge Frontline as a party. Oh, goodness. That is, like, I'm so excited about that. It's like, why are we restricting all this? Party size when registering is now limited to 4. At least we could play together as a part of that. Like, all right, thank you. I guess limited to 4 is to ensure that, like, you don't end up having, like, all these just randos matched against one team of 8. Mount speed has been increased. The following adjustments have been made to the return. Recast time has been removed. Damage taken is now always interrupt casting return.
Are those duos?
Yeah. The following adjustments have been made to the recovery from
green.
The following adjustments have been made to the recovery from incapacitation. The waiting time to return to battle.
Yellow duo.
Sweetie, I gotta read this. All right. The following adjustments have been made to the recovery from incapacitation. The waiting time to return to the battle is now fixed at 5 seconds. When the countdown reaches 0, players will be moved to their team's landing point automatically. The following adjustments have been made to the adrenaline gauge. Defeating a player on enemy teams will no longer contribute to the filling of adrenaline gauge to your party members. Players will now fill their adrenaline gauge via assists. Oh, I love that. The map has been adjusted as follows. When completing the Borderland Ruins, secure icons will now be displayed on the map 30 seconds prior to the monsters spawning on the field. That's helpful. When completing the Fields of Glory Shatter, icons will now be displayed on the map for 30 seconds prior to the Icebound Humlet spawning on the field.
Daddy, look. Why do those have circles around them?
They're highlighting that they're going to show you what's about to spawn on the field, so you can kind of go prep and get ready. So that's a really big help for people.
Can we see them?
Yeah, right there.
Why are there things on them?
Well, that's just how the map looks. All matches now require 72 players to commence. So they're cutting all the smaller forms of this.
Daddy? What's that?
That's the battle high gauge.
So it tells you how much energy you have?
Yes, exactly. So all matches, like we said, require 72. The battle high has been adjusted as follows. Battle high status has been changed to battle high gauge. The strength of the battle high is now based on your rating. Every KO and assist will earn and contribute to your ranking up to a maximum of 100 points. Your points earned will be reduced by half when 100, will be reduced by half when incapacitated. 20 to 39 points, rank 1. Damage dealt and healing potency increased by 10%. 45 to 59 points, 2. So your damage and healing potencies are 20%. 60 to 69, rank 3. Damage dealt and healing potency by 30. And 80 to 90 and 100. So up to 50% with rank 5 and rank 4. Yeah.
Look, there's a blue jewel. What are those?
This is to designate your rank, which essentially power level that you have based off the energy.
Blue, green, yellow, orange, and red.
See? You're already taking over the patch notes from me. This is fantastic. So basically, players under the effect of Battle High will no longer appear on the map. Players no longer receiving the bonus with their team tactical rating for defeating opponents under the effect of Battle High. An icon will now appear to the player names indicating their Battle High rank.
I like it.
Yeah.
Back up. I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, because they're jewelry.
Very nice.
They're jewels, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right. New items have been added.
People.
These are different characters and the gear that we can get with this patch. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, you can also fight the battle as often you can do per person.
Yeah, exactly. Gear based off of the grand prize winners, the gear design contest, Melee DPS edition has been implemented together with the other roles based on design. Yes, sweetie?
Are those the bad guys?
No, these are our guys. This is the gear that we can get, so we can power up.
Hey,
New recipes have been added.
People?
Just people showing off some coats.
Ooh, they're beautiful. And one has pink hair and one has brown hair. Right? One pink, one brown. Then there's a pink and a brown standing in that coat thing. A pink hair and a brown hair.
Yeah. I think Mom's got breakfast for you. You hungry? Yeah, why don't you go eat?
Maybe you should go eat if you're hungry.
I just have coffee for breakfast, kiddo.
You can come if you need food.
I'm gonna come after I finish these notes, and you're making it longer. I love you, kiddo. Let's see here. The following names have been changed. The Certificate of Good Cheer is expired Certificate of Good Cheer. Valentine's Day chocolate, expired Valentine's Day chocolate. So let's not eat those expired chocolates, guys. Some items may now be sold desynth, submitted as expert deliveries, and converted into materia. The crafter actions have been adjusted. All classes, level 42, final appraisal. The next action that would complete item synthesis will instead leave 1 progress point remaining, active for 5 steps. Level 47, waste not. 2 reduces loss of durability by 50% for the next 8 steps. That's a big jump to 8 steps. The level 55 careful observation. Do nothing for 1 step, preserving the status of any actions presently in effect. A crafter's delineation is used upon execution. Can only be used up to 3 times per synthesis. This action does not increase step count. Okay. Maybe I should go eat. The level 69 reflect. Increase inner quiet stack by 3 up to 11. Can only be used when initial preparations are active. The following crafter actions have been adjusted. All classes. Rapid synthesis now acquired at level 9, previously 15. Hasty touch now acquired at level 9, previously 15. Success rate has been increased from 50 to 60. Tricks of the trade now acquired at level 13, previously 15. The ingenuity, the effect of this action has been revamped. Ingenuity now functions as followed. For the next 5 steps, effectiveness and touch and synthesis actions are increased. Innovation, the acquired of level 26, previously level 50. This effect and action has been revamped. Innovation now functions as follows. Increases effective of synthesis and touch actions by 20% for the next 4 steps. Bonus no longer shares a cap with inner quiet. Muscle memory, the effect of this action has been revamped. The ingenuity now functions as follows. The increase in progress of efficiency 300%, success rate 100%. Additional effect, efficiency of your next synthesis action increased by 100%. Available only on the first step. Additional effect is active for 5 steps. Great strides. The increase has changed from double to active increase of 100%. Name of the elements. Number of the active turns has been reduced from 5 to 3. Increased efficiency is now capped at 200%. CP cost is increased from 15 to 30. Patient touch. Increase the inner quiet stacks when successful has been increased from 1 to double current stacks. Basic synthesis. Success rate has increased from 90 to 100. Basic touch. Success rate has increased from 70 to 100. Fascinating. Master's Men. CP cost has been reduced from 92 to 88. Inner quiet bonus no longer shares a cap with innovation. Standard touch. Success rate is increased from 80 to 100. Brand of Elements. 90 to 100. Burgot's Blessing. 90 to 100. Precise touch. The success rate is increased from 70 to 100, and the efficiency is increased from 100 to 150. Prudent touch. Success is increased from 70 to 100. CP cost is increased from 21 to 25. Preparatory touch. Success rate is increased from 70 to 100. CP has increased from 36 to 40. Intensive synthesis. Success rate is increased from 80 to 100. CP cost has been reduced to 12 to 6. Trained Eye. Increase in quality has been increased from 50 to 100. This is some massive buffs, everybody. This is just insane. Like, it's going to be interesting to see ultimately what happens with crafting. Like, does this... I don't know if this is going to bring more people into crafting, but it definitely sounds like it's making it a lot easier. All right. The following crafter actions have been removed. Steady Hand, Master's Men 2, Steady Hand 2, Standard Synthesis, Advanced Touch, Hasty Touch, Initial Preparations, Rapid Synthesis 1 and 2 and 3, Trained Instinct, Satisfaction, Whistle While You Work, Finishing Touches, Innovation, Namia's Wheel, Bragat's Miracle, Train Hand, Specialty Reinforce, Specialty Refurbish, Specialty Reflect. And then Carpenter, yeah, this is all stuff removed. That's all classes. Then Rumination, Heart of the Carpenter, Ingenuity 2, Heart of the Blacksmith, Piece by Piece, Heart of the Armor, Manipulation, Flawless Synthesis, Innovation, Healer's Mark, Heart of the Goldsmith, Waste Not One Night, Heart of the Leatherworker, Careful Synthesis 2, Heart of the Weaver, Comfort Zone, Heart of the Alchemist, Reclaim, Heart of the Culinarian. Additional actions have been removed. In accordance with this change, the following actions can now be learned by all crafting classes: Ingenuity, Rapid Synthesis, Waste Not, Tricks of the Trade, Hasty Test, Much. Man, this is an overhaul. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The following crafter action names have been adjusted: Manipulation 2 to just Manipulation, Careful Synthesis 3, just Careful Synthesis. New crafter traits have been added. Level 31, Basic Synthesis Mastery, efficiency increased to 120. 63. Rapid Synthesis Mastery, efficiency is increased to 500. Jeez Louise. The following crafter traits have been removed: Stroke of Genius. Overall experience points gained for crafting has been increased. Yep. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the crafting log. A detailed recipe tree showing all required ingredients has been added. The recipe tree can be opened by selecting the recipe and opening the sub-command menu. Oh man, and then it's going to be interesting to see, you're right, 100% right, what they're going to do in 5.2. Like, whew. The raw materials list showing all required ingredients has been added. The raw materials can now be opened and selecting a recipe and opening the sub-command menu. The search for item by gathering method option has been added to the sub-command menu and selecting recipe ingredients. The number of ingredients required as well as the number of items created in certain Weaver recipes has been adjusted. Now, honestly, I like this change. This change is really good. Anyway, I'm not going to complain. Hovering your mouse over with the crafted condition in the crafting window will now display an explanation of the status. I'm going to close the door. 1 second, guys. It's like my 2-year-old has hit this, like, she hits this note when she screams and it just pierces through my soul. Let's see here. So we said quick synthesis has been adjusted. The quick synthesis will no longer fail provided you meet the recommended crafting requirement. Increases the control will now provide reasonable improvements to the chance of receiving high quality items. Then using quick synthesis to craft more than one item at a time required per synthesis has been reduced. Sell your stuff today. Like, if you got stuff on the market, like, prices are gonna be changing. Such items will be marked with an icon indicating that they're always synthesized collectibles. That's helpful. The following adjustments have been made to desynthesis. Desynthesis will no longer fail, regardless of your desynthesis level. The requirements to unlock desynthesis has not changed. The combined total level limit for desynthesis has been removed. As a result of this change, desynthesis levels can no longer go down, and it is possible to level desynthesis to maximum for all crafting classes. When your desynthesis level is higher than that of the item that you're desynthesing, the number of items yielded has increased, and there is a chance to procure rare items. Okay. So the higher your skill is going to increase the rarity of the items involved. Okay. That seems decent. That seems... Oh, and also the link is in the description if anybody just wants to read along. The leveling rate for desynthesis has been increased. The level cap for desynthesis has been increased from 450 to 460. The careful desynthesis parameter has been changed to desynthesis skill gain. The gather actions have been added. All gatherers, level 8 sneak, trend quietly, enable avoid enemies to up to 4 levels above your own. Botanist Miner, level 20, the 12 is bounty, increased elemental shard yield by 2. And you can't use other nodes. Yield shards. Miner, the lay of the land, now acquired at level 5, previously 6. The Giving Land, the effects of this action have been revamped. The Giving Land now functions as follows. Increase elemental shard, crystal, and cluster yields by random amounts. Effect can be stacked by the 12's bounty, and effects cannot be executed under the nodes not yielding shards or crystals or clusters. Botanist's Armor Recall, now acquired at level 5, previously 6. The Giving Land, the effect of this has been revamped. The Giving Land now functions as follows. Increase elemental shard, crystal, and cluster yields by a random amount. Effect can be stacked up to the 12's bounty and cannot be executed by the gathering node does not yield shards, crystals, or clusters. Fisher, Truth of the Oceans is now acquired at level 65, previously 66. Very minor adjustment. I think we're going to see more come 5.2. Yeah, the sneak no longer reduces the speed. And welcome, Elysian, to the workforce. So the following gather actions have been removed. Stealth. That was the thing that slowed you down. Sneak no longer slows you down. Toil of the Mountaineer, Breguet's Ward, Nathaniel's Ward, Tharek's Ward, Botanist, Toil of the Pioneer, Nophinia's Ward, Mephinia's Ward, Limonen's Ward. The new gatherer traits have been added. Level 27, Auto Sneak. Automatically activates Sneak upon changing your class to a Botanist, Miner, and Fisher at level 27. Miner. Level 60, One with the Mountain, automatically activates Truth of the Mountains upon changing your class to Miner. Level 61, Impulsive Appraisery Mastery, Upgrades Impulsive Appraisal to Impulsive Appraisal 2. Unearth Mastery at level 63. Upgrades Earth 2 to Unearth 3. Level 68. Bountiful Yield Mastery. Upgrades Bountiful Yield to Bountiful Yield 2. Level 71 Enhanced 12's Bounty. Increases the base yield of the 12's Bounty to 1 by 1. Alright. Botanist level 61 with the Forest automatically activates Truth of the Forests upon changing to Botanist. Level 61 Impulsive Appraisal Mastery upgrades the Impulsive Appraisal to Impulsive Appraisal 2. Level 63 Leave Turn Mastery upgrades Leave Turn 2 to Leave Turn 3. 68 Bountiful Harvest Mastery upgrades Bountiful Harvest to 2. And Enhanced 12's Bounty increase the yield of the 12's Bounty by 1. Fisher, level 71 with the Ocean, automatically activates Truth the Oceans upon changing your class to Fisher. The following other traits were adjusted. Ward of the 12. Name has been changed to Earthen Enhanced 12's Bounty. Change to extend the 12's Bounty effect to crystals. Ward of the 12. 2. Name has been changed to Enhanced 12's Bounty 2. Change to extend the 12's Bounty effect to clusters. Enhanced GP regeneration. Effect change increased the base GP generation by 1. And regeneration 2. The effect changed to increase GP regeneration by a rate of total of 2. Now increases GP generation by gathering by 1. I gotta drink some coffee. I can feel my throat just like drying out as I'm trying to finish this gather stuff. We're almost to the end of the notes, guys. Fisher, enhanced GP regeneration, effect increased GP base generation by 1, and regeneration 2, effect changed GP generation rate by a total of 2. The following gather traits have been removed. All the enhanced stealth, they're pointless now. Endless Toil, the Mountaineer, and Endless Toil, the Pioneer. Overall experience points gains have been, for all gathering classes, have been increased. I don't know. Like, maybe this is good. Maybe it's good. Overall gathering rates have been, for all gathering classes, have been increased. The special conditions set for certain gathering nodes and items yielded by them have been adjusted. A quick gathering mode has been added. Quick gathering mode. Whoa. Quick gathering allows you to continuously gather from a specific spot of a gathering node until all gathering attempts have been exhausted. Quick gathering cannot be used for guild leaves and spoil nodes, inferior nodes, legendary nodes, or favors. The following adjustments have been made to the items not registered in your gathering log. When gathering an item for the first time, the gathering rate will no longer be lowered. The items not recorded in your gathering log will no longer appear as unknown in the gathering window. The required item to equip the following items have been lowered from 11 to 10. Oh, it's like bronze, sledgehammer, and scythe. The level at which players can see gathering points has been adjusted. In accordance with this change, the timing of which the items are updated in the gathering log and the clearing harvesting tabs are unlocked have also been adjusted. So it looks like they're just adjusting these slightly down by 1 level each for the different nodes themselves. That's actually a really big change. Like, it seems like a small one, but one of the most annoying ones is like, hey, I'm level 70. I want to go gather the 71, like in the new areas. Sorry. Like, gain a level. And then it's like, you can go from there. Items at unspoiled and legendary nodes will no longer appear out of reach. Item yield from ethereal reduction has been adjusted. The search for items option has been added to the subcommand menu for the gathering window. New miner and botanist gathering points have been added. New items have been added to the gathering points. I really hope the rebuilding of Ishgard helps bring in some level of challenge for that basically is being removed here. The items have been added to the gathering points. New fish have been added. Players can now speak with Kaishir to complete custom deliveries. By completing these custom deliveries, players can receive guild experience points, crafter scripts, and gatherer scripts. A total of 12 custom deliveries can be made each week. So the requirements are on for the quest here. Behive yourself. I love it. Disciple in or hand level 70. And you have to complete the main scenario quest blank, and the quest of the bountiful ways always wins. Players can gain the ability to cast glamours on Kaishir by raising his satisfaction level to maximum. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the glamour dresser. A checkbox to only view items equipable with your current race and gender have been added. A filter to view gear for specific classes and jobs have been added. A checkbox to filter out gear set items that has been added. New mounts have been added. This is phenomenal. I love I really, really, really want to do Hades just to be able to rock this mount. And then look at this, guys. Like, that is amazing. I'm sorry. Like, despite just like all of what we just saw, like how they, are changing crafting and gathering, maybe it's good. Like, for me, I'm not real keen on it. I like the UI changes. I like the quality of life changes. The experience and some of the stuff. The skill changes, maybe that's going to be a lot cleaner. But I don't know. It just seems like I'm going to have to... I've been, honestly, true story. When you're running your dungeons this weekend, roll on everything. Get as much gear in your inventory as possible so you can just go start and just breaking it down come on, 5.1. The following mounts can now be used to fly without completing the quest. I believe I can fly. Legendary Chocobo, Fat Chocobo, Parade Chocobo, Original Fat Chocobo, Fat Black Chocobo. So you can fly with those right away without having to get that part in Heavensward. New Chocobo barding has been added. Oh, that looks pretty nice. The display and listing in Chocobo barding and the companion window has been adjusted. New minions have been added. That is phenomenal, guys. The Flying Goldfish. The item exchange upgrade crafting items to 450 equipment items 460 has been added. Vendor, Hilency and Ilmore. Ilmorn Certificate of Import, Collusion Rain. The Ilmorn Certificates of Import have been received in exchange for item level 450 equipment from Hyson. Collusion Rain can be received from Hyson in exchange for Algian Tomestones of Goetia. Okay. Acquiring upgraded gear, prepare the requisite number of Yulmorin certificates of import and the Collusion Rain for your desired gear. Trade of Yulmorin certificates of import and Collusion Rain to Hyson and receive your desired gear. All right. System changes. New achievements and titles have been added. The following additions and adjustments have been made to achievements. The icon for certain achievements have been adjusted, and certain duties and trials will now count towards the completion of achievements. So achievement, the Tankless Job Paladin 2, Paladin, someone's got to do it, Paladin, the duty, the Minstrel's Ballad, Hades Elegy. So Tanky Paladin, also the Grand Cosmos, Minstrel's Ballad, Hades Elegy, the Copied Factory. The display of titles and achievements window has been adjusted, more easily distinguished between those that appear before and after your character name. The description for the Go Big or Go Home achievement has been adjusted to simply Big Fish in the source world. A favorites list has been added to the market board. Up to 100 items can be added to the favorites list. Does it reset? Because we've been able to kind of favorites list will no longer be cleared after server maintenance, therefore it can be viewed when visiting other worlds. Praise the 12. Praise the 12. We did it, guys. And I'm literally serious. The favorites thing was always like the most pointless thing because anytime, like, especially like, oh, we have emergency maintenance. Like, okay. Like, but now 100 items, I can favorite them and I can shop to my heart's content. Thank you, Square Enix. I am legit happy about this. I am not being sarcastic. This is amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you. The following adjustments have been made to the gear exchange vendors. A filter to view gear for specific classes and jobs has been added. The display when receiving 2 or more items in exchange has been adjusted. Okay. I'm going to have to play around with that in real time. Fellowships, a new means for like-minded players to join together, have been added. So we're going to have a work-to-game fellowship. We'll go with that. Fellowships are gatherings of players who share common interests, including players designed as the master and admin's fellowship permit up to 1,000 members. Fellowships are cross-world, so you can belong to a maximum of 10 at any given time. Joining and searching for a fellowship. Select fellowships under social in the main menu, and from the fellowships window, select create fellowship. Joining and searching for fellowships. Invitations. You can be invited to join a fellowship by either the master or admins of a fellowship. Once invited, you can be designated as an invitee. By opening the fellowship window and selecting the fellowship at which you're invited, you can choose to accept the invitation and become a member. So, Fellowship Finder. Thank you. Why can't we have this for free companies? I guess maybe this might replace free companies. Select Fellowship Finder under Social in the main menu and view a list of fellowships that are searching for members. You can filter by activities and language and execute any that you already joined from the search menu. Features of fellowships. The primary features of fellowships are the posting of notices by the masters and admins, member polls, and the message board, general tab. General message board members, and then message of the day, poll. I love it. I love it. So, message of the day and notices. Here, the Fellowship Master and Admin members can relay important messages to all members of the Fellowship. Poll. Here, the Fellowship Master and Admin members can create anonymous polls to field questions to all members of the Fellowship. The poll automatically updates with the number of members who answered each option. The Master and Admins can select recruitment to create a new listing in the Fellowship Finder. When viewing the list of fellowships you have joined, a marker next to their name indicates an update on its general tab. So you can see the message board. We're invading Ravenastar to take screenshots of the week. Yeah. So if all fellowship members can post comments to the message board, up to 100 comments are displayed, with the oldest being deleted first. The Fellowship Master and Admin members can delete comments at any time. Member tab. So, displays the list of Fellowship members. Here, the Fellowship Master can carry out various administrative tasks, such as appointing admins, members, and transferring master privileges. It is also possible to blacklist players. Doing so removes them from the Fellowship and prevents them from rejoining in the future. Settings. The following settings have been changed by the Fellowship Master: the name, the activities, the blacklist, and disband Fellowship. The following options are available as Fellowship activities. You can see this list here: non-player events, no to support, hardcore, battle, gathering, hunts, PvP, domain, mahjong, glamours, role-playing, making friends, casual leveling, crafting, housing, treasure hunt, fishing, performance, and group pose. The Fellowship can be disbanded in the event the Fellowship Master uses the Homeworld Transfer Service to move to a different data center. Characters on the free trial cannot create fellowships, however, they still may join. That's awesome. That's awesome. 5.1 is Tuesday, everybody. Bright and early, Tuesday morning. Characters on the free trial cannot be designated as admins. Characters on the free trial cannot post to the message board during their first 14 days as a member. The following additions and adjustments have been made to mentors. A clear distinction will be set between battle mentors and trade mentors. Until now, the feature will be available to battle mentors and trade mentors were largely the same. With the release of 5.1, however, the following adjustment will be made. A player who achieved mentor certification as a disciple of War Magic, you may only set your online status to PvE mentor or PvP mentor. For players who achieve mentor certification in Disciple of Hand or Land, you may only set your online status to Trade Mentor. You can no longer access Duty Roulette Mentor. Only those who have met certain requirements for the Disciples of War Magic, as well as the Disciples of Hand and Land, may set their online status to Mentor. The requirements for the Battle Mentor certification has changed. The requirements for Trade Mentors remains unchanged. So before, if you guys haven't seen this, so you needed to receive 300 player comms. Now you need to receive 1,500 player comms. The dungeon remains the same. Complete any level 80 roll tank, healer, roll quest, and melee DPS and range DPS roll quest. So it's really a big, this is the big jump. So we'll see who gets it. I think I've already got 1,500 comms, so we will see. Renewing mentor certification. Players who are currently mentors must renew their certification within the notification period by meeting the requirements and speaking to one of the Smith NPCs. Excuse me. The renewal piece is from patch 5.1 to December. So you have until December to renew. And then once you fulfill the updating the requirements, speak to the Smiths in Gridania, Limsa, Ulda, or the Hall of the Novice in Western Lindisia and apply for mentor certification. Mentors who do not renew within the specific period will be unable to access the following features: the Mentor Roulette and the ability to change online status to PvE Mentor, PvP Mentor, and Trade Mentor. Mentor party bonuses will still be applied. They will, however, still be able to participate in the Novice Network chat channel. An icon will indicate that they are a mentor who has yet to renew their certification. The following additions and adjustments have been made to Group Pose. Group Pose can now be used while riding a mount. That's awesome. A manual brightness setting has been added. A character lighting setting has been added. A character display setting have been added. The duties that can be recorded has changed. I wish they let duty recording for so much more, but yet, I'll live the dream. So the Dancing Playground of Immaculate Dying Gasp, Eden's Gate, Scapular Savage. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the Duty Finder. Your current item level will now be displayed in the Duty Finder. Okay. That's handy. The layout of the first dungeon, trials, and raids tabs has been adjusted for easier navigation. That's handy. I like that. An option to disable the effects of the echo has been added to the Duty Finder settings. That's nice. I like this update. The layout of the Duty Finder settings has been adjusted. That's beautiful. I love the UI updates they're making, everybody. The party leader will no longer change when entering a duty without role restrictions. The following adjustments have been made to the Party Finder. Players can now blacklist other players actively recruiting party members. Recruitment listing for players on your blacklist will no longer display. The following additions and adjustments have been made to emotes. A sort function has been added to the emotes window. You can choose to sort by the default order or by name. When adding an emote to the favorites tab, a system message will display indicating the total number of favorite emotes. A setting to play sound notifications when another player's emote at you has been added. The setting can be found in the sound notification tabs under log window settings. The collection menu has been added to the duty under duty in the main menu. The following measures have been taken to anticipate congestion during the patch release of patch 5.0 have been removed. So you're no longer going to be logged out due to inactivity. Field instances for old and new areas will be removed. Bummer. I love the field instances system in regards to, I always hope that our world visit. Anyway, that's just my opinion. A copy item name option has been added to the sub command menu when selecting linked items in the log window. With the text cursor in the chat log window or any search field, pressing left trigger L1 plus right trigger R1 will paste text from your clipboard. Oh, that's handy. A setting can be found under the gamepad settings of the system configuration menu. Yeah, y'all. The consolidate settings for individual chat channels, a channel log settings menu has been added. And the transparency setting has been added under the cross hotbar. On the cross tab under the hotbar settings in the character configuration menu, you will find 3 sliders to address transparency, standard active set, and inactive set. That's going to be cool. Mountain roulette can now be used when swimming or submerged in the water. Settings to hide the HUD will be disabled when skipping cutscenes. The log message is displayed when obtaining allied seals, centurion seals, sack of nuts, wolf marks, bicolored gemstones has been adjusted. The options displayed when confirming a friend request have been adjusted. The following adjustments have been made to targeting. Character selection when using the directional buttons on the gamepad can now be changed from target circle to target select. The option can be found under the target tab of the control settings in the character configuration menu. I'm going to have to play around with that. That could be a game changer. When using a mouse with target filters on, players can now enable the selection of targets near the mouse cursor. This option can be found under the target tab of the control settings in the character configuration menu. The following adjustments have been made to ground targeting when using a gamepad. The cursor speed when pressing R1, RB, and the left analog stick has been adjusted to maintain consistently. The default positioning of the cursor has been adjusted. Players can now save the cursor position. Cursor positions can now be reset by pressing R1, RB, plus L3. Class and job actions will now be set to the hotbar or cross hotbar automatically when logging in without saved hotbar or crossbar data. Players can now change their sound equalizer settings. Whoa, hello. All right. Standard bass boost. That's awesome. The option can be found in the sound settings. Makes sense. Additions and adjustments have been made to the keybind menu, shortcut tab, collection, fellowship finder, and new game plus. Additions and adjustments have been made to text commands. So graphic presets, and you can just change them right there. So you can change them with text commands. Fellowship opens the fellowship interface. Fellowship finder opens the fellowship finder interface. Collection opens the collection interface. The following text commands can only be used with blue magic spells you've acquired. Blue action, hotbar blue action, cross hotbar blue action, macro action, icon name, blue action. Gear set names can now be used with the gear set change text command. When using the POS and flag placeholders in a field instance, the instance number will now appear after the area name. That's handy. Even though there are also somewhat removing instances, but regardless, that's there. All right. Caffeine is love. Caffeine is life. I've already had my coffee. But I drank it. And I didn't want to run downstairs and make more right now. Additions have been made to the auto translation dictionary. Additions have been made to the PlayStation 4 autocomplete dictionary. New music has been added. Overall sound output has been lowered. The game client is now compatible with Logitech 560 LightSync PC gaming speakers. The new battle voices for player characters have been added. That's nice. The following additions and adjustments have been made to staff credits. Staff credits will now be displayed when the UI is disabled. Players can now temporarily hide staff credits to take screenshots. When viewing the confirmation prompt to skip staff credits after pressing escape or B, B or the circle button. It looks like BO. The confirmation prompt will now appear when canceling a report via the support desk. The error code will be displayed when the client fails to back up your configuration data. In order to alleviate stress on the servers, players who cancel the queue on the login screen must now wait 30 seconds before re-entering the queue. This was always a way to get around the queue. They finally fixed it. The list of the world's character selection screen will now be listed in alphabetic order. The game launcher has been revamped. Windows, PlayStation 4, etc. I'm really excited about this change right here. In addition to the change to the design, the server status displayed on the launcher will now be synced with that found on the lodestone. So pretty. It's been a long time coming. So, the Windows version will have a brief transition period where players may freely switch between the old and the new launcher layouts. The option to switch layouts can be found in the config menu. And we did it! Patch notes! Patch notes! Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Oh my gosh, what do you guys think? I didn't see anything on the Ishgard restoration, but they said that's coming. I wonder if it missed, like the notes, like.
On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves. It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain new Mo chose to make their home there soon after. It is said
Well, they talked about that, Bards. Reduce the volume here. They said that the overall is to kind of affect class balance to help improve the overall, like when you look at DPS and stuff like that. So they've really talked about it as a way of bringing certain things up into line to try and make it sure that it's favorable for everybody. So they said 511. It's weird that they didn't include it. I guess they didn't talk about the Nadim either as a part of this. So then I guess with 511 with Ultimate that we'll get the 511 patch notes, etc. So yeah, that makes sense. I think in the past they've said like, hey, here's the stuff that's coming in with these other patches at the top, but oh well. In German, but your friend thinks Nier's made up a language. I'm 100% with you, Edge. I'm 100% with you. It's like, all right, but maybe this will kind of tip it to where more people get involved, especially with desynthesis.
Are you sure you're willing to take that chance?
Well, some of it does skirt. Like they're making overall changes, like to potencies and things like that. So like for the job changes, that should really help improve. The blue mage adjustments are massive. Like those potencies are massive. Well, the blue increase in level cap. So blue goes to 60 in 515, but what you'll see here is that the blue changes here literally are just like massive potency boosts to all of their abilities. Should make them feel like they can hit a lot stronger. Well, and that's what we're gonna have to go hands on with, Daniel. I like the tree. Like that's huge. That's so helpful. But yeah, and then the fact that the UI for Black Mage shows on the skills, that's excellent. But yeah, Yoshi's like, man, we're not making any changes to Black Mage. What do you want? And then everybody else is getting some big buffs. Oh, and the whole reprisal buff is massive for AOE pools. That's massive. So guys, the patch is going to be live October 29th. Fallout. You silly goose. So October 29th, 2019. That is Tuesday. I thought Monday was going to be like a full day of maintenance, but it doesn't look like that way. It looks like the patch is scheduled for late Monday night, and then it goes up early Tuesday morning. So it's not a big maintenance, which is actually really nice to see. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go check on the family, and then we're going to put our summary, kind of focusing in on the battle system changes and more, not the epic long read that we've seen here, but we're going to try to summarize this for y'all as best we can. Thanks to everybody here for hanging out. Hopefully y'all hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. So thank you. And then, I love you guys. Hope y'all all have an amazing weekend. And I will talk to you guys next time.